In this video you will see the most expensive Bugatti priced at $5.8 million, an unusual Maybach for $8 million, and many other incredibly expensive cars that only billionaires can afford. And in the end, we will show you a car that a married couple bought for a staggering $28 million, Aston Martin Vulcan. This is one of the rarest hypercars. The car was first introduced during the Geneva Motor Show in 2015, and to this day it remains one of the most technologically advanced cars created by British engineers. Only 24 cars were ever built, and the car was intended exclusively for track use. For each owner of the Aston Martin Vulcan, a unique pilot training program was developed, starting with basic models and culminating in mastering the track supercar. However, it was reported that some cars were later converted for street use. The Vulcan is equipped with a naturally aspirated 7-liter V12 engine producing 800 horsepower. Imagine the exhaust sound. It can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds and reach a top speed of 360 km per hour or 224 miles per hour. You could have bought an Aston Martin Vulcan for $2.3 million when it was initially advertised, but they sold out within minutes, and now, unfortunately, no one is selling them. Let's move from the smaller to the bigger, and the cheapest car on our list costs a modest $2.3 million. Ferrari Pininfarina Sergio. Presented as a concept car, the Pininfarina Sergio was first showcased at the Geneva Motor Show in 2013. It was a tribute to the former chairman of the company, Sergio Pininfarina, a legendary automotive designer who had passed away just a year earlier. The V8 engine delivers 570 horsepower, allowing it to accelerate to 320 km an hour or 199 miles per hour and reach the first 100 km per hour in just 3.4 seconds. It might not sound very modern, but it's more of a style icon than a classic hypercar in our understanding. The design was based on the Ferrari 458 Spider. Only 6 units were produced, and all of them were sold to a group of wealthy individuals, with none of the cars ever being resold, making them collector's items. Its initial price tag was $3 million. Sounds expensive, right? Well, in reality it's a fraction of the cost of the cars at the top of our list, so let's gradually rev things up. Lykan Hypersport. This is a product of the Lebanese car company W Motors, which collaborated with both Lebanese and Italian engineers. The Hypersport was the world's first car with headlights encrusted with diamonds, 15 carats. Buyers could also choose rubies, yellow diamonds and sapphires, which sounds quite extravagant, but its sports performance didn't disappoint. All 7 announced cars were sold out within a day. Plus, it even appeared in the Fast and Furious 7 movie, where Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor performed stunts with the Lykan Hypersport, flying it from skyscraper to skyscraper. However, they decided not to expand production, keeping the quantity limited. It features a 3.8-liter twin-turbocharged engine in the middle at the rear, producing 780 horsepower and 708 pound-feet of torque. All this power means the car can reach a top speed of 240 miles per hour. However, the price matches the performance at $3.5 million. It's expensive, but let's move on to classic sports cars and hypercars. McLaren P1 LM. The McLaren P1 LM is a more or less street-legal version of the McLaren P1 GTR, intended exclusively for the track. A British firm Lanzanti bought the original P1 and modified it for sale. Only 6 LMs were produced. 5 were sold to private buyers, while the 6th, known as XP1 LM, the P1 LM prototype, is currently used for developing and testing future projects. The P1 LM is equipped with a more powerful V8 engine with twin turbos compared to the P1 and P1 GTR. It has a limited top speed of 214 miles per hour. It can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.4 seconds, boasting nearly 1,000 horsepower and 1,050 Newton-meters of torque. While the price of $3.6 million may seem astronomical, it only claims the honorable 10th place on our list. Lamborghini Sian. The Lamborghini Sian was released in a limited edition of 63 cars, and all of them are already sold out. Lamborghini created the hybrid supercar Sian with a 6.5-liter V12 engine and an additional electric motor. With 819 horsepower and a 0 to 60 miles per hour acceleration time of 2.8 seconds, this car can be used in everyday life, unlike the majority on our list. It's the first hybrid car sold by Lamborghini, and each car will be individually tailored to the owner's preferences. The initial selling price of the Sian was $3.6 million, but it's now trading around $4 million. Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita. Production of the CCXR Trevita, initially limited to just 3 units, was so costly that Koenigsegg decided to make the car even more exclusive by limiting the quantity to just 2. The CCXR is the greenest version of the CCX, equipped with a 4.8-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine that runs on E85 and E100 ethanol. When running on ethanol, the car produces 1004 horsepower, a direct result of the ethanol's cooling properties in the engine combustion chambers, allowing the car to fully unleash its potential. It has a top speed of 254 miles per hour. The car is highly customized for each customer, with features including a carbon fiber body with diamond weave, a unique double carbon fiber rear wing, a Carnot exhaust system, carbon ceramic brakes with ABS, and a tire control system. One of the 2 cars belongs to Floyd Mayweather's personal collection, which he bought for $4.8 million, and he clearly has no intention of selling this beauty. Pagani Huayra Imola. This is a supercar built on the foundation of the BC Roadster. The car weighs 1,246 kilograms, and 5 kilograms were saved through a special paint job. Only 5 units of this car were ever made, and all of them have already been sold. At the heart of this Italian hypercar is a 6-liter V12 power plant from Mercedes-AMG, featuring twin turbos. However, the Italian engineers thought that wasn't enough, so they made some modifications to the engine, pushing it to generate 827 horsepower, 1100 Nm. In total, only 5 of these models were produced. The price varied for each buyer due to customization and specific preferences, as Italians always aim to delight their customers. Interestingly, the car was originally supposed to be named Dragon, but it debuted as the Imola. The price was a staggering $5.4 million at that time. And of course, where would we be without our favorite, the people's car? Bugatti Divo. With many similarities to the Bugatti Chiron, the Divo lacks some of the soundproofing and is equipped with lighter wheels. The car boasts optimized aerodynamics, and thanks to its design, the Divo packs a punch with 1500 horsepower and reaches 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.4 seconds. But the most interesting part is the engine and everything related to it. At the rear of the car sits a W16-cylinder petrol engine. This monstrous 8-liter engine works with 4 turbochargers and can produce a maximum of 1500 horsepower and 1600 Nm of torque. This incredible power is harnessed by a car that weighs only 1,960 kilograms. The hypercar can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 2.4 seconds, creating 456 kilograms of downforce at that moment. Both the driver and passenger experience a 1.6 G overload each. To put this in perspective, it's only 0.0 G less than what passengers feel during takeoff in an airplane. But all this technology comes at a price, $5.8 million. The car is a technological marvel, but we're finally getting closer to our heavyweights in terms of price. Mercedes-Maybach Exelero. This car exists in a single piece. It's currently owned by the American rapper Brian Williams. It can accelerate from 0 to 100 km per hour in 4.4 seconds, and it has a top speed of 351 km per hour. The Exelero's engine delivers 800 horsepower. Interestingly, the car's design was the work of 4 students from Pforzheim University, with the project based on the 24-year-old Frederick Burkhardt's design, which was then handcrafted by the renowned Italian bodywork firm Stoller. Even in photos it looks monumental yet swift. It has a touch of the Batmobile. However, the designers weren't inspired by the transport of a mythical superhero, but rather by a real car used by the Ford company in the 1930s for high-speed tests of its tires. This impressive 5th place comes with a price tag of $8 million. Of course, the car may not match modern hypercars in terms of speed and technology, but from a design and execution perspective, it's a true gem in the automotive world, and it's unique. SP Automotive Chaos. SP Automotive Chaos is short for Spirus Panopolis. It's challenging to classify this car. This mid-engine coupe stands out primarily due to its materials. Xylon based on polyoxazole was used to craft the monocoque. This polymer is 1.6 times stronger than Kevlar and finds use in Formula 1 cars and spacecraft. The roof is made of a material with a self-explanatory second name, metallic glass. The base version, Chaos Earth version, is equipped with an engine that develops 1,389 Nm of torque. With a weight of 1,388 kilos, this car accelerates to 100 km per hour in 1.9 seconds and reaches 300 km per hour in 7.9 seconds. The experimental version, Chaos Zero Gravity, runs on E85 biofuel and can deliver 1,984 Nm of torque. It sprints from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 1.5 seconds and hits 300 km per hour in 7.1 seconds. The maximum speed is over 500 km per hour, theoretically, as it's not possible to test such speeds on regular roads. The car with the 4-liter engine boasts 2,000 horsepower and is the more budget-friendly version at $10 million. On the other hand, the zero-gravity version, priced at a whopping $14 million, packs a punch with 3,000 horsepower. Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta. It complements the already incredible legacy of the Pagani Zonda and stands out with a quite unique exterior. The rear wheels are partially covered with carbon fiber. The windshield is smaller than usual, and the car itself has no roof. The peak power of the Barchetta is 789 horsepower, and its top speed is 221 miles per hour, reaching 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.1 seconds. This version differs slightly from its predecessors and was intended for the company's founder, Horacio Pagani himself. The HP letters in the name stand for Horacio Pagani, and this novelty was released in 3 copies. Like other special editions, this one has its combination of aerodynamic elements on the body. For instance, the front fascia with a black beak is almost the same as extreme modifications from previous years. This Italian devil takes the 3rd place with a price of $17 million. And now it's time for the car that was considered the most expensive for several years, but has now been pushed down from its pedestal. Bugatti Voiture Noire. This is part of Bugatti's plan to release 2 unconventional cars each year. Only one Noire was built. Although Bugatti first mentioned the Noire in 2019, the company stated that it needed an additional 2.5 years to complete the car's production. The radiator grille is much larger than that of the Chiron. The front bumper is one massive air intake, significantly impacting aerodynamics. You can also notice different optics integrated right into the hypercar's fenders. The entire body is crafted from carbon fiber, and beneath its deep black color you can see parallel strands running through. These ultrafine fibers, with diameters ranging from 3 to 15 micrometers, ensure uncompromising strength in torsion, tension, and other mechanical characteristics. The Bugatti Voiture Noire boasts a top speed of 260 miles per hour and accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds. The manufacturer states that the anonymous buyer acquired the car for $18.7 million after taxes. Before taxes, the car is valued at around $12.4 million. Rolls-Royce Boattail. First place goes to the brand new Rolls-Royce Boattail, a luxurious car with an unknown exact price tag. The British company has produced only 3 units of this car, and rumors have it that one of them was purchased by the star couple Jay-Z and Beyoncé. The Boattail is based on the same underlying platform as the Phantom and uses the company's existing architecture. However, Rolls-Royce claims that this is not just a regular model with a multitude of customized additions and extra features. It's an entirely new car. It took the automaker 8 months to adapt this chassis to the proportions of the Boattail rear, which measures 5.8 meters. It also incorporates 1,830 new and fully customized components. There are no mind-blowing speed records here, just an exquisitely crafted design and aesthetics that showcase the owner's status. There are no golden doors or retractable wings, but its boat-like rear end opens to a guest suite complete with a champagne cooler and a sunshade. There's also space in the back for storing porcelain plates. In short, everything you need to stop for a picnic along the seaside road and enjoy the view without worrying about the blazing sun. The soft-top convertible set them back a record-breaking $28 million, and the cost of the others is undisclosed, possibly even higher. But let's stick with the figures we know. And as you can understand, expensive doesn't always revolve around speed and racing performance. Expensive is about style and exclusivity, for which people are willing to pay. Thank you for watching.